Shalom, it's Sihila from the Kefar, and in this series of videos, we are going to look at prepositions and prepositional pronouns that you have to use with particular verbs. So take, for instance, if I said, I touched her, I helped her, I see her, and I threatened her. In English, we just have her, 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 her. In Hebrew, all four of those hers would be represented four different ways using four different prepositional pronouns. And these are pronouns that are created with specific prepositions, okay? And I'll explain all of that, don't worry. So when it comes to Hebrew, when you use different verbs, there are different prepositions that you have to use with those verbs. And it's not always intuitive. You might think that it's straightforward if you're translating directly from English or Spanish or another language, but it's in many cases not what you would expect it to be and not what you can assume it will be. So these are things that you have to learn. And so I'm going to explain some of the prepositions to you in this video series, as well as give you some example verbs. So in this video, we are going to start with the preposition be, the letter bet, which generally means in or at. But when it comes to prepositions that you use with a lot of verbs, you can't always translate it as in or at. It's not going to make sense in English the way that it makes sense in Hebrew. For example, the verb laga'at. Laga'at means to touch. It's a pa'al verb. The root is nun gimel ayin. And when you use the verb laga'at in whatever form, whether it's past, present, future, etc., you need to use the preposition be or the prepositional pronouns that begin with be. So the be pronouns, essentially. And I have a list of all of these pronouns available. The link to them is in the description. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to say, don't touch me, al tiga bi. Okay, I didn't say al tiga oti or al tiga ani. I have to use the pronoun that starts with that preposition be, al tiga bi. Or for instance, if I say he is touching the dog, hu nogea bakelev. Okay, I can't say hu nogea et hakelev, hu nogea bakelev is he is touching the dog. Why? Because in Hebrew, when you use the verb laga'at, you have to use the preposition or the prepositional pronoun, and these are pronouns that are formed with the preposition. Another example verb is lehishtamesh. Lehishtamesh means to use. It is a hitpa'el verb. The root is shin, mem, shin. And when you use the verb lehishtamesh, you need to use the preposition be or the prepositional pronoun that starts with be. So for example, I am using the pencil. Ani mishtameshet ba'iparon. Okay, there goes that be. Or if I wanted to say he's using it, hu mishtamesh bo. Okay, there goes that prepositional pronoun bo. So these are just two examples, laga'at, to touch, and lehishtamesh, to use. And again, check out the download that I have available that outlines all of the different pronouns for you. Okay, so just reminding you that in a lot of cases, be will mean in or at, but when it comes to many different verbs, it's not going to translate as in or at. Like we don't say don't touch in me or don't touch at me, it's don't touch me, right? But in Hebrew, we use be. And so don't try to like make it make sense in English, because it's not going to make sense in English, but it makes sense in Hebrew and it's grammatically correct in Hebrew. And so that's just the way it is. And you just need to learn that. Okay. So again, when you hear verbs as you're studying, when you see verbs, when you read them, pay attention to the preposition that follows, whatever comes after the verb, and that will help you start to get a sense of what prepositions you need to be using with what verbs. Okay, so that wraps up this first lesson, Toda ala tzfiya, and I will see you for the next lesson on verbs and the prepositions that follow. Lehitraot.